Welcome to Tiffany Turned On. I'm your host, Tiffany Anton. I'm a psychotherapist specializing in sex and relationships. I hope to help you get turned on in life as well as inside of your bedroom.
Today we're talking about interesting sex facts. Are they real? Are they not?
So I have Rain with me today, and I've pulled up some sex facts. She's on the spot. I haven't read any of them to her. We're going to see what she has to say, what she believes. In my TEDx talk titled I Love Pleasure, go ahead and check that one out, it talks about ejaculate. And on that I have a speed of which penises ejaculate. And you have 4 choices. The first one is, does ejaculate come out at 12 miles an hour, 28, 63, and the last choice is, does ejaculate come out at Mach 2?
I'm sure some men would say Mach 2, but...
Yeah, boom! They just didn't ejaculate and hit the lampshade like in porn. I think I saw that in the 90s in porn. I'm like, oh my God, he hit the lampshade and it stuck in my brain. So if we got Mach 2, we're not just hitting the lampshade. We just went through the wall. No, we went through the wall. Yesterday, or this morning actually, I had a wonderful neighbor shovel snow. And so if this guy was ejaculating at Mach 2... it probably would go all the way over to the neighbor's house.
I think the answer is 12 miles per hour.
Nope, 28. Now, let's say it goes 2 and it drips down the penis. That happens sometime. But it's 28 miles an hour.
And how did they figure that out?
I know, that's why on my TEDx talk I make a joke about that. But throwing a baseball, and then they have that like radar gun that tells you how fast it is. So that was my vision.
And how many men had to do that to come up with the figure of 28 miles per hour?
I don't know. It had to have been a lot of them. Okay, so I was checking this out in Men's Health.
Okay.
And the article's titled, Checking the Male. If you don't know what's going on between your own legs, how can you expect to impress her with it? It says here, once sperm enters the vaginal canal, then they start slowing down. So they start out 28 miles an hour. But it's just like when you're in the traffic jam and when you're trying to get over, bottleneck. There we go. It's a bottleneck because it's in, the vaginal bottle now. Once it starts doing that, it takes 5 minutes for them to travel the 6 inches to the cervix, and it can take up to 72 hours to reach an egg.
Big bottleneck.
So we talked about orgasms for penises. Now I'm interested in what's the average length of an erect penis. 4 choices once again. 6.21 inches, 5.95 inches, 8.01, and the last one is Mach 2. It is the average penis of 12.2 inches. There is your options. So 6.2, 5.9, 8.0, 12.2.
I'm going to say 5.9.
I thought so too.
No?
I know, that's what I think immediately, because I think the average size of a penis is between 5 and 6 inches. So it says in this article, 90% of men measure between 5 and 7 inches when erect, while the mean size of a flaccid penis, that's limp, is 3.89 inches. If you insist on measuring yourself, press the ruler yardstick against your pubic bone just above your penis. I want to disagree with this article, but I'm not out measuring, 50 penises to see what the average is, nor am I asking for that to occur.
So they're saying that the average is a little over 6.
6.21. So then that got me thinking, of course, I'm wondering then about cocks, penises that we see on porn. And when I talk to my clients about porn sex, of how vastly different it is from real life sex. And one of the differences is penis sizes. What I say is they're hired actors. They're hired for the size of their penis. So it's just like me trying to get an acting gig in a movie. Not really going to happen. But if I was wonderful at my acting skills and physically oozing in beauty, I might get selected. So these are big-cocked men that are hired for porn. Just letting you know, they're actors. There's the world's largest recorded penis. And when I was checking it out, I even Googled more to see if this is correct. If our average, even though I disagree with the statistic, if the average is 6.21 inches, what do you think is the largest currently? 41-year-old New York dude. Let's go with flaccid, pretty large. So if I give you the tip of how much he is flaccid, then you're going to be closer to it.
Okay, give it to me.
You're not going to guess?
Flaccid or
No,
erect?
the erect one.
I'm going to say largest erect is 15 inches.
It is 13.5.
I was close.
I wonder about John Holmes. I mean, weren't you raised hearing about John Holmes' penis?
No.
You weren't? You didn't hear about John Holmes?
I don't even know who that is.
Listeners, we need to tell her he's a famous porn star.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm going to check him out. Porn star penis size is what I'm Googling. Let's see. John Holmes. He was born in 1944, died in 88. He was also known as Johnny Wad, after the lead character he portrayed in a series of related films. He ranks among the most prolific adult film performers. He was credited for 573 films. And that dude came from Asheville, Ohio. Oh my goodness, here on this Wikipedia, because you know that's really valid. How many names he has? John Duvall, John Estes, Big John Fallis, John C. Holmes, John Curtis, Johnny Holmes, Big John, Big Johnny, John Ray, Johnny Wad, Johnny Sacre, Long John Wad, the Duke of Wad, Wadzilla, King Wad, the Sultan of Smut, the Reverse Birth, that's an interesting one, the Sheriff of Grottingham, and Eve's Burden. Oh, God, that sucks. He died of AIDS. That's how he died in 1988. Okay, there's a whole category. So you can choose early life, career, penis size, personal life, later life, and death. So it even has penis size here.
Okay, penis size.
There's no definitive measurement or documentation verifying it. And he was uncircumcised.
But there was 500-something films. We can come up with something by that.
I know. Well, he claimed his penis was 16 inches long and 13 inches circumference. And then
come on.
Well, there's a long-term friend. He was an industry associate. His name was Bill Emerson. And he says, quote, I saw John measure himself several times. It was 13 and a half inches, or 34.3 centimeters. Was 13 and a half. So it is 16 inches long and 13 inches in diameter. So yes, you were right. Medical students of human penis size have medical studies, not medical students. You'd have to ask those medical students to line up, the 50 penis owners to see what is the size of their penis as well as their speed of ejaculate. So they found that erection average is between 5 and 6 inches, with fewer than 0.2% of penises being 9.5 inches or more.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Holmes claimed that he had his penis insured. How much do you think a cock is insurable for?
$1 million.
$1 million an inch.
No. 13 inches in circumference. I'm sorry. The girth, that just sounds absolutely... that's a freaking forearm. What the hell is that?
That is reverse birth. That's where it comes from. That's what it is. I wondered what did that mean? But it's like shoving a baby back inside of you. And then we have a quote here from Dorothea, if I'm pronouncing it right, Sika Patton. She said that Holmes' penis was the biggest in the industry, and she described oral sex with Holmes as similar to filleting a telephone pole. Now, his first wife claimed his penis to be 10 inches when he very first measured himself. But again, 16 is what it came up. What we got now is we got a 9.5-inch flaccid penis and with 13.5 inches erect. New Yorker, Jonah Falcon. He has the biggest penis. So that's that little penis fact that we have. And again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to 5 or 6 inches, even though Men's Health is saying, I better remember it, 6.21. In response to my disbelief of the averages noted earlier, I wanted to do some more research. And the best research can come from a book called The Penis Book, written by Aaron Spitz. I'm quoting from his book now. Surveys have been conducted over the years to determine normal penis size, and this quest for penile average has gone international, comparing size even by country. These surveys are generally the results of doctors who care about these sorts of questions, measuring whomever walks in the door, with permission of course. Measuring the penis is no small undertaking. It's hard to get your test subjects to get it up in a sterile exam room with a middle-aged, white-coated scientist wielding a ruler. Plus, it's one thing to worry if you're small, but it's another to actually have someone measure you for real. So for many reasons, penis length is measured by stretching the penis while it's flaccid, measuring from the base of the penis or the pubic bone to the very tip of the head of the penis. After a certain number of measurements, these doctors have stretched enough penises to claim that they have clinically meaningful results. The best evaluation so far has been conducted by David Veal and his colleagues at the King's College London. They did a study of all the other studies that were actually scientifically sound, and the results are in. The average size of a man's penis when soft is about 9 centimeters, give or take 1.5 when stretched. The average size when erect is a little over 13 centimeters, give or take about 2 centimeters. So what does that mean to us here in the U.S.? That the average penis size is between 5.1 and 5.6. So we already talked about ejaculate speed. We talked about penis size. Now, orgasms. So when we get the contractions and release, how many seconds does a male orgasm last?
I'm going to say 8 seconds.
You're close. 6 seconds.
Aw, that's kind of sad for them.
It is. You know, I used to have penis envy and think I really wanted to have a penis and experience that sensation and orgasm. You know, we talk about women in multiple orgasms, and it wasn't until I was able to have very pleasurable experiences that I decided I do not want a penis because my vulva rocks. We get so many more opportunities to come. We don't have the refractory period. I mean, we can. Our vulva can be like done. It's kaput. It has to wait. Just one orgasm for us is 20 seconds. So it's a little over 3 times longer.
Now, can men have multiple orgasms?
Men can. I don't have that statistic, but I'm going to have to check it out. It's rare. Men can. According to the National Library of Medicine, an article titled Multiple Orgasms in Men, What We Know So Far, and their results, few men are multi-orgasmic, less than 10% for those in their 20s, and less than 7% after the age of 30. The literature suggests 2 types of male multiple orgasms: sporadic multiple orgasms with interorgasmic intervals of several minutes, and condensed multi-orgasms with bursts of 2 to 4 orgasms within a few seconds to 2 minutes. And in Men's Health article, it says that experts have identified various ways for cisgendered men to orgasms multiple times in a row, including through non-ejaculatory multiple orgasms, evidently that's known by the acronym NEMO, and prostate orgasms. It just takes practice, and luckily for you, that practice involves masturbation. So this will probably be the most fun homework you've ever had. What makes multiple orgasms difficult for cis men? The refractory period. Once ejaculation happens, the brain and body go into a rest period. Your penis needs time to recoup before it's up and running for more. Your body and brain essentially become numb to sexual stimuli for a hot minute. Quote, "It is often called the resolution stage of the sexual response system because, after orgasm, the penis returns to a flaccid state, and the level of interest in sex usually goes from intense to virtually non-existent." Research has shown the refractory period can last for a few minutes, hours, or even days. What if we just did away with the refractory period altogether in order to join our vulva-owning pals and get on the multi-orgasmic train? While it's virtually impossible for men to have multi-ejaculatory orgasms with no refractory period, you can climax several times in a row if you don't release semen. If you think non-ejaculatory orgasms will feel different from regular orgasms, you're right. So remember to lower your expectations just a little. Quote, "You can't expect for each small orgasm to feel like your usual orgasm. There'll be less intensity, but for some men, having several small orgasms is actually preferable to having a big one." The information here was provided by the article "Wanna Have Multiple Orgasms? Try These Expert Recommended Tips and Techniques," and it was published on January 19th of 2024. I was then wondering if we can have an orgasm that lasts 20 seconds. We have a record, just like we do with the John Holmes and then the Jonah guy from New York, of how many orgasms a vulva owner had in 1 hour. We do have research on how many orgasms this one woman, world record, she had in 1 hour. This was witnessed by William Hartman and Marilyn Filthian, the Center of Marital and Sexual Studies in California. In 1 hour, they watched her experiencing a mind-boggling how many orgasms an hour?
40.
134 orgasms. 2.2 per minute. And this woman is Sylvia Connoyer.
And when did this happen and how did they do this?
I don't know.
And I mean, seriously, what kind of stimulation was happening for her to have that many orgasms back to back in such a short period of time?
Details of the woman who had 138 orgasms in 1 hour.
Seriously?
It's just all the photos of this woman. Lensculture.com is what came up. Oh, during each orgasm, a photo was taken. That's what we're looking at.
No.
Yes, it is Lens, Lens, culture.com/projects/1124877-climax. If you want to check her out and see all of her photos. So yeah, that's the most orgasms according to, my very detailed scientific research in here. The music for Tiffany Turned On is provided by Kumasi Afrobeat. If you're interested in more of their music, you can find them online at kumasiafrobeat.com. KUMASIAFROBEAT.com. They are New Orleans' full Afrobeat band. They play to make you move. If you liked what you heard in today's episode and you want to learn more about me, check out my website at neworleanssextherapy.com. I also have a TED Talk entitled I Love Pleasure from TEDx Vermilion Street.